President Joe Biden called on world leaders to address a list of issues yesterday, mostly related to climate change, in his first address before the UN General Assembly in New York City, and insisted the United States is not seeking a, quote, new Cold War with China. Joining us now to talk more about this is author of the book, The Coming Collapse of China, Gordon Chang, back with us on the program. Gordon, good morning. Nice to see you again.
Good morning, Rob.
Gordon, I'm curious what you made of this speech yesterday. I thought it was interesting. You know, he spent about half of the speech talking about global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it. And he never called out China, who is opening a new coal plant every single month right now. And they are the biggest polluter by far on planet Earth. And he never mentioned China. He never mentioned Russia. What'd you make of the speech?
Yeah, that was part of a bigger sickness in this speech, because many of the subtexts in this speech really were China. And it was not just climate change, but it was also democracy. It was this and it was that. And yet he did not mention the word China. And of course, the same thing about Russia. When he talked about people yearning to be free, protesting on the streets, guess where he didn't mention? He didn't mention Hong Kong. So I think that this is really a problem, because the Chinese leaders hear this and think, oh, you know, Biden's afraid of calling us out. So that makes them even more dangerous, more belligerent, more aggressive. Biden's speech, although he said some good things, I think on balance was a disaster.
I was wondering, the speech to me almost sounded like it was written a month ago. It didn't sound like a speech that his team was working on, say, 2 days ago. It just sounded like something that wasn't a speech for this particular moment and everything that's changed over the last several weeks. I want you to take a listen to some of the words that he had to say yesterday. He said we're entering a new era of diplomacy, and this stuck out to me. He used the term relentless diplomacy with our allies, this coming off of the situation with our oldest ally, France. Take a listen.
The United States will compete, and will compete vigorously, and lead with our values and our strength. We'll stand up for our allies and our friends and oppose attempts by stronger countries to dominate weaker ones, whether through changes to territory by force, economic coercion, technical exploitation, or disinformation. But we're not seeking, say it again, we are not seeking a new Cold War.
So the weight of what he's saying is clear, but to me it seemed kind of like empty rhetoric, a lot of hot air, just because I think in many respects the president has lost his credibility on the international stage.
Yes, really. And when there's a divergence between words and actions, you know, people in the audience just yawn.
Right.
And that really is the problem with Biden, because this is a guy who ran for president on being able to work with allies, to build coalitions to contain China. And yet we have seen the United States take down our relationships with our closest friends. You know, on his first day in office, what did he do? He canceled Keystone XL pipeline. He didn't talk to Ottawa. That enraged the Canadians. And certainly I would have been upset if I were Justin Trudeau, the prime minister. And so there's a real problem here. And so people in the audience I don't think we're really paying that much attention.
It was a globalist speech. That's what it sounded like. Chinese president, and I'm curious what you made of this, Xi Jinping announced the country is not going to fund coal-powered plants abroad anymore. What'd you make of that announcement? Also the timing of that announcement.
Yeah, that's really unimportant, because coal-fired plants outside of China were not the deal. The real deal is, as you were pointing out earlier, is building coal-fired plants inside China. And China's Paris Agreement promises are really uninspiring, because it gives them incentives to put more carbon into the air until, quote unquote, around 2030. So this really was an anti-climate agreement. You know, when President Biden says he's going to throw more money at it, I don't think the American people are on board with that, especially at this particular time.
Gordon, just about 30 seconds left. I'm curious, do you think we're weaker on the international stage right now than we were, say, 8 months ago when Donald Trump was still president?
There's no question about that. You had, of course, the debacle in Afghanistan. You had the United States calling out China on the Microsoft Exchange hack and saying we're not imposing any costs on Beijing for criminal activity. You know, people around the world and people in China look at that and say, what's wrong with the United States? It's not even enforcing its own laws. This is just one debacle after another.
And no mention of our southern border for obvious reasons. Gordon Chang, good to see you. Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate the expertise as always.
Thank you so much, Rob.
All right. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.